Call me today.
Start your morning with Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
Okay, I bet y'all are scooting a little bit closer to the TV this morning as you see what we've got for you here on 3+U. Tim Piersant is proudly on the show with us this morning. He is the owner of Chattanooga Whiskey. I don't know where you've been all these years, but I'm awfully glad you finally have found your way here.
Yeah, it's great to be here. It's all things local here on National Bourbon Day.
So we were talking a little bit off camera about the fact that so often you don't do the own things that are in your literal backyard.
Right.
Y'all are doing tours at Chattanooga Whiskey. Tourists come in and take part. A lot of the locals don't. What a great thing to do heading into Father's Day,
Absolutely.
4th of July.
Yeah, it's an amazing tourist attraction. It's across from the Choo Choo on Market Street. It's called the Chattanooga Whiskey Experimental Distillery. And we have thousands of people from all over the world that tour it every year, and we offer tours every hour on the hour, 7 days a week.
I guess there is kind of a lore around the rest of the country about we people who live in this part of the world, because whiskey and moonshine and all that's kind of in
very synonymous
in our dirt.
Yeah.
You had a good time. Any good story begins with me and a buddy.
Yeah.
And that's how your story begins. You and a buddy began to do some research.
Yeah, we found the history of whiskey in Chattanooga pre-Prohibition, which dates back as far back as 1866. At least those are the earliest documents that we can find. Ended in 1915 because of Prohibition, and then it never came back to Chattanooga until we changed the laws in 2013. We started the company in 2011, started with a Vote Whiskey campaign. It took us 2 years to change those, both local and state laws, and then finally got it passed in 2013, and then built the first distillery in Chattanooga in 100 years in 2015.
So I'm going to have to take you as a man of your word, because I'm not going to be sampling this morning, but
it's delicious.
I believe that. And what I understand about a good whiskey or a good bourbon is that it's all in how you distill it for how smooth it is.
Yeah, there's a lot that goes into it, from obviously the grains and the type of grains, where you get the grains from, and then the distilling process, which is cooking, fermenting, distilling, and then the aging process. So barreling, the type of barrel it goes into, the environment that the barrel's in, the type of char that it's in, that's inside the barrel. So there's a lot of components, but those are the main ones.
So we talk a lot, y'all know from watching the show, when we'll have the Chattanooga Market here, or anybody that has a local artist, and we'll talk about the fun of going and talking with the vendor and the artist directly about what the meaning of the piece is before you buy.
Right.
The same is true when they buy your whiskey. They're going to have a greater appreciation for it when they know the story.
Very much artwork, for sure. Yeah.
So you mentioned it took you 2 years to get it, kind of to market, so to speak, and get the laws changed.
Right.
What were you and your buddy doing? Were y'all making this stuff in your kitchen?
No.
Or?
No, there's very legal, the whole process. Trust me. Yeah, it was the inspiration was the history of whiskey in Chattanooga. When we discovered that, we instantly brought the idea to social media, and then it just kind of steamrolled from there.
People can go to any local restaurant pretty much in town and ask for something made with Chattanooga whiskey. You're everywhere.
Widely available throughout Chattanooga, and then also across 14 states.
So a lot of moms watching are probably doing the same thing. This time of year, I begin snatching up Christmas gifts ideas when my budget allows for it. You could buy this now, and if you have the willpower, put it aside until the holiday season, right? There's no shelf life for this.
I mean, it's a gift that keeps on giving all year long. So, whether it's the holidays or birthdays or whatever. So, yeah. And we have specialties that are released throughout the year as well. So we do lots of experimental releases and limited releases. The experimental releases you can only get in Chattanooga.
Oh, really?
Yep, only at the experimental distillery.
So is it like Ben & Jerry's when they put too much cookie dough in the cookie dough ice cream? Your experimental releases, you get to see how much the public likes it?
I mean, I don't really like to compare our stuff to ice cream, but there's a lot of good ice cream out there.
Well,
so.
I think what I mean is...
I'm just kidding.
Is the idea, though, that what you're doing on the experimental level might not become widely...
That's correct. That's exactly right. So we've actually released more than 50 different recipes and batches since 2017 into the market, and we've scaled up about a dozen of those.
So these, we have a minute left. These are your top three.
Yes, Chattanooga Whiskey 91, Chattanooga Whiskey 111. These are the same recipe, 91 proof, 111 proof. They're both straight bourbon whiskeys here celebrating National Bourbon Day. And then the 99 rye, which is a lot more limited, but still widely available.
Okay, so even though today is National Bourbon Day, they are open for you to come and take a tour.
Yes.
And enjoy, because not only will you learn the history, but there is that taste testing with the experimental whiskeys as well as the tried and true, right?
Absolutely, yes.
Well, I am so glad to finally get to say hello to you and maybe eventually sample your wares.
Yeah, come on by. It's great to be here.
Tim Piersant with Chattanooga Whiskey. There's the information on your screen for you to go. Schedule a tour. What a great thing to celebrate as we go through the summer months.
Thanks.
Thanks.
James, your car was pulling to the right, and you came to Budget Break seeking alignment. What happened?
They fixed it for the best price in town.
His path was crooked, and